Next, the Michigan High School Athletic Association presents the Football State Finals. Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. True Value Hardware, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program. Elias Brothers Big Boy. And Health Alliance Plan.
From the Pontiac Silverdome, the Michigan High School Athletic Association presents the Class A championship game of the 1992 football playoffs between the Rockets of Muskegon Reeths-Puffer and the Warriors of Walled Lake Western. I'm Mark Crawford, joined by the old coach, Bill Brandell. Welcome to the Silverdome and the electric atmosphere of the MHSAA football playoffs. Interesting Class A match for folks, Bill. Two clubs that are really very much alike. They both love to run the football. Reeths-Puffer has two 1,000-yard running backs. Walled Lake Western has a 2,000-yard running back.
Well, Mark, with those statistics, it's obvious that these two teams like offense and they like to run the ball. I think the key today is defense. Which one of these teams is going to be able to come out and stop the other one, possibly force them into some plays or some routines that they're not used to doing? That normally causes mistakes, turnovers, and when you got two excellent teams, that can decide a ball game.
Very excellent ball clubs. You should enjoy this football game. Reeths-Puffer and Walled Lake Western from the Silverdome. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance.
In every corner of the state, Michigan folks receive a special kind of insurance help from Farm Bureau insurance agents. Help when it counts. People talking with people, and that'll never change. Wherever you live, whatever your lifestyle, your Farm Bureau agent is near you and has one objective. The Farm Bureau Insurance Objective. Making your future a little more predictable.
True Value has gifts to please everyone in your family, even you know who. Like the Black & Decker Thermal Carafe Drip Coffee Maker, just $39.99. And the Daisy Pick-A-Pocket Plus with reversible griddle. Or the electric 8-quart stock pot. Your choice, just $39.99 each. For personal service and low prices, bring your family to ours.
You can do it with True Value.
Back at the Dome, Walled Lake Western and Muskegon Reeths-Puffer are set to go for the Class A state championship. Both clubs, as you can see, unbeaten at 12-0. Reeths-Puffer in the green uniforms trimmed in silver will be booting it away. And Walled Lake Western in their bright royal blue and white will be receiving. Squibber bouncing around and fielded at about the 25, and a good return. Walled Lake Western will start out near their own 40-yard line and will go 1st and 10 right there. Our referee in this ball game, Jim Martin, out of Westland. And here come the Warriors of Walled Lake. Dave Watkins, number 1, is the quarterback. Benedict and Gillert always behind him in the backfield. Tight splits in the double tight end formation. And Arnie Gillert, the 2,000-yard rusher, will lose 4 or 5 on 1st down. As the pitch was lost, Gillert managed to pick it up and went down in the backfield, make it second down and about 13.
Well, maybe a little case of nerves to start this one, Mark, as you saw the pitch go awry just a little bit there. Arnie Gillert not able to handle it cleanly, and by the time he did pick it up, boy, there were a swarm of those defenders over to greet him and say howdy to this ball game.
You saw your game officials. Jim Martin has already mentioned the referee. Second down, 13. We're just underway from the Silverdome. It'll reverse this time and forced very, very deep. They'll heave it downfield on the halfback option, well out of bounds. And perhaps discretion as much as anything else by Alex Gillert from Walled Lake Western, who got rid of the ball and avoided a 20-yard loss. There is the offense for Walled Lake Western. Best of the offensive lineman Derek Lindsay there at right guard. And there in the backfield, Watkins, not Garback at quarterback. Watkins is the quarterback. Third down, 13. And Watkins wants to throw. Has a man open. Incomplete at midfield. Tracy Coughlin was there and just couldn't hang on.
Well, Tracy Coughlin behind the defenders that time took the pass from Dave Watkins, who was kind of running for his life back there, but got the ball off. There you can see Coughlin well behind the defender, but he just cannot hang on to the ball, and it goes as an incompletion, brings up a fourth down.
Eric Gagne will stand back at his own 25 and boot the ball away for Walled Lake Western as they lose 3 yards on their first offensive possession. Good kick, bounces at about the 25, goes out of bounds at the 24. And Muskegon Reeths-Puffer will start their first possession right there, 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. 10:15 still to play in the first quarter from the Silverdome. And there you see the Reeths-Puffer offense. Zietlow, Hill, Bates, and Starr in the backfield. Hill and Starr both well across 1,000 yards on their season. Jeff Zietlow, the quarterback, has a man in motion. And they will pitch left side. That's DeMarquio Hill. And he's got 2, maybe 3 yards across the 25, near the 26. It'll be second down, 7.
Well, what a beautiful pair of backs. DeMarquio Hill, Stacy Starr, as you've mentioned, Mark, both well over 1,000 yards. And then every once in a while, when you start paying too much attention to those two, that fullback, Luke Bates, he'll bring it at you right up the middle.
Second down, 7. That's Hill again, bouncing outside. Juggled the football and I think held on. Bill holding it just like a piece of bread there in his hand for a minute as he made his moves, but gain of a couple. It'll be third down, let's call it 5. Here's the Walled Lake defense. At the front 5. Linebackers there, Lindsay, leading tackler on this club. And the defensive backs, Nicholas Smith and Watkins. Be third down, 5 facing Reeths-Puffer. Pete Couches, the head coach in his 9th season at Reeths-Puffer. Rockets don't like to throw the ball. In fact, they run 19 times for every pass, and they'll stick with that. Luke Bates gets it on the dive, maybe a yard, but it'll be fourth down, and Reeths-Puffer is going to find it punt time as well.
Well, both of these teams on their initial possession of the ball game finding it difficult to get their offense untracked. Two really fine football teams here who play by the numbers as far as offense is concerned. They like to run. We've seen a little spread formation from both teams. We've seen some passing already in this one, but basically they'll come back to the run.
Snap is over the head of Luke Bates. Bats it out of the end zone. We'll see a flag. And the officials are going to sort this one out. Bates batted the ball out of the end zone. Walled Lake Western recovered at about the 2. And I'm not sure if what we get, Bill, is a safety or if Walled Lake Western gets the football on the 2, or a choice.
Well, I'm going to guess a little bit, Mark, but if my memory holds true, once the ball crosses the goal line in high school ball, it's dead. And if the offensive player tried to flip it out of the end zone, it's a safety. And I think that's just what we saw there, our officials signaling safety. Now let's watch the ball. As you can see, Luke Bates trying to catch up with it. He's in the end zone right there and tries to bat it out. That's a safety. That's going to be 2 points for Walled Lake Western. And, of course, that will force Reeths-Puffer to free kick the ball from their 20-yard line. They will have the choice to either punt the ball at that position or they may put it on the ground and do it like a kickoff. They have that choice.
So first blood in our football game is drawn by Walled Lake as the snap sails over the head of Reeths-Puffer punter Luke Bates into the end zone. Walled Lake leads 2-0. Bill, almost a situation where if you were the Warriors, you might have preferred the football on the 2, 1st and 10.
Well, definitely. You'd love to have it there for an offensive possession and try to get the touchdown. But I'm sure they'll take the 2, and with the free kick here from the 20, they should end up in pretty good field position once again, letting their offense have the ball for the second time. Maybe a few of those butterflies and jitters have been put to bed now, and we'll see them go back to their steady offense.
Reeths-Puffer, the champions out of the Seaway Conference. Walled Lake Western from the Western Lakes Conference. And Puffer will have Luke Bates punt it away from his own 20. Kick is fielded at the 30-yard line by Walled Lake Western, and they will get great field position across midfield. And down to the 48-yard line of Reeths-Puffer goes Jeff Howrun, number 5.
Well, a great punt by Luke Bates. He kind of outkicked his coverage that time, Mark, and Walled Lake Western able to bring it back, and they'll start this drive inside Reeths-Puffer territory.
Here come the Warriors, 1st and 10. Arnie Gillert, number 98, the gentleman who does most of the heavy work for the Western offense. And that's Gillert. Tries it inside, then outside, and manages 2 or 3 yards before he is dragged down. Tackle made by Dan Brown, number 81 from Reeths-Puffer.
And Eric Morsfeld also over there on the defense, number 70 from his defensive tackle position. You'll see great pursuit on the part of both of these teams. As we've mentioned, you talk a lot about their offense, but 2 fine defensive clubs.
2nd down, let's call it 7, facing Walled Lake Western. Gillard again bulls forward for about 5. He'll be marked just inside the 40, where it'll be 3rd down and 2. 6:55 still to play first quarter from the Silver Dome. Mark Crawford and Bill Brandell, glad you are with us. It is 2-0 right now. Walled Lake Western out front on the safety. There you see the clock and our score. Nice crowd on hand here. The home side of the field that we're broadcasting from belongs to Reeths-Puffer, and that's particularly full. A good number of folks have made the trip from Muskegon. Watkins, keeper right side, stopped short.
Oh, what a great defensive play. Stacy Starr comes from his linebacker spot. A good bit of faking on the part of Dave Watkins as he hid the ball on his hip. Now he decides to run, and he's got a lot of room, but Stacy Starr able to catch him from behind, makes the shoestring tackle. Great defensive play and brings up a 4th down.
Decision time for Chuck Apap, the head coach at Walled Lake Western. 4th down and about a yard at the 39-yard line of Reeths-Puffer, and it looks like they'll go. They've got it. Arnie Gillert, the 5'10", 201-pound senior running back, carries for the first down.
Stop in there this time by defensive end Dan Brown, but too late as the first down yardage back of where the ball is finally spotted.
1st and 10, Walled Lake Western from the 34 of Reeths-Puffer. Dave Watkins, the senior quarterback. Gillert again, hit this time at the line and driven back.
Once again, Dan Brown, Stacy Starr right there that time to stop Arnie Gillert as he gets up to the left side of his offensive line and just finds no room at all.
Bill, that's great penetration by the whole right side of that Reeths-Puffer defensive line.
Good line surge right from the beginning, just nowhere to go. Gillert had a blocker out in front of him. There still was just no room there.
Eric Morsfeld, number 70, in on the stop as well. 1 yard loss. It's 2nd down 11 for Walled Lake Western. Watkins to throw. Pressure comes and he's taken down for a loss of another yard. Sack by Reeths-Puffer. And Dan Brown becoming a familiar name fast.
Boy, he has been in on about every play. This time again from a defensive end position. Watkins with just no time at all to throw the ball, running for his life back up the middle, but Dan Brown able to grab a hold of him behind. A little bit of jersey and a little bit of belt, pulls him to the ground.
Looked on the replay like maybe Dave Watkins wanted to continue to roll right, but in his face was John Boersma, number 82, forced him back toward the middle and the rest of the defense. 3rd down 12, Walled Lake Western. Screen pass. Gillert. Blockers in front. Gillert will take it all the way. The Reeths-Puffer players looking for a clip. They don't get a call. And it's a 36-yard touchdown pass. Watkins to Arnie Gillert, and Walled Lake Western out 8-0.
Well, this one's just like you draw it up. There you see quarterback Dave Watkins inviting the defensive lineman in. Then he just kind of softly lofts it over their head, finds his favorite back, Arnie Gillert, and Gillert does the rest all by himself, takes it into the end zone with nobody around, puts the 6 points on the board for the Warriors.
Travis Ilacqua on now to try the extra point. Splits the uprights. 3:45 still to play first quarter. Walled Lake Western out front here 9-0. One of your network sponsors is Big Boy Restaurants. Welcome back to the Silver Dome. Walled Lake Western out front of Reeths-Puffer 9-0 with just inside 4 minutes still to play first quarter, and the Warriors of Walled Lake Western will boot it away. Good strong kick fielded by Luke Bates from Puffer. On the reverse now to DeMarcio Hill. And Hill with some moves is across the 30 and out near the 35.
Well, what a great return, Mark, as Luke Bates took that kickoff, and what a great kick it was. Way down to the goal line, about the 1 or 2 yard lines. And Reeths-Puffer then running the reverse as Luke Bates starts to his offensive left side and now hands the ball off to DeMarco Hill. And DeMarco picks up a few blockers as he comes around the end, gets right on the sideline, puts the Rockets in great field position here on their second offensive possession.
Zietlow will lead the team out 1st and 10. They'll try the inside to DeMarcio Hill, and he's hit and downed right there. Might give him a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. On the tackle for Walled Lake Western, Eddie Wood. Reeths-Puffer, be a big surprise if they throw the football. Only about 200 yards total passing on the season for Reeths-Puffer. They run and run and run. That's Stacy Starr. Forward for 2 or 3 more. Walled Lake Western stingy on defense.
And there comes a flag coming in late, Mark. We'll have to wait and see what this was. Good offensive line surge that time as Stacy Starr picked up about 4 yards if he gets his progress, but we'll see where it ends up.
Well, Jim Martin, our referee, is sorting things out here. And it's going to go against Walled Lake Western, and it looks like it's a big one.
Well, they're moving way back, and it is. It'll be 15 yards, and I believe 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Walled Lake Western's Warriors. Moves the ball across the midfield stripe and down to the 45 of Western, where Reeths-Puffer will go 1st and 10. That's the initial first down of this game for Muskegon Reeths-Puffer. Running out of the old tee and back to throw is Zietlow. Over the middle. Doesn't get the intended receiver, but Scott Gowdy is in the right place at the right time and will pick up about 30.
Well, Mark, this game's giving us a little bit of everything early. Here we see a pass, which we're not expecting from Reeths-Puffer anyway, and the ball is tipped from one receiver, picked up by the next, ends up in the hands of Scott Gowdy, and he picks up some yards, gets the ball down to the 19-yard line, and all of a sudden Reeths-Puffer knocking on the door, trying to answer that quick 9 points put on the board by the Warriors.
1:55 still to play first quarter, 9-0. Walled Lake Western out front, but it's 1st and 10 Reeths-Puffer at the Walled Lake 19. Little hold up as Reeths-Puffer moves back into the tee. And good strong run up the middle. Stacy Starr will pick up 4 or 5.
Well, Derek Lindsay defensively making some contact early, but just unable to stop the ball carrier as Stacy Starr just slipped out of his grasp, found a little seam, picked up about 3 more yards. The ball ends up at the 15.
Bill, I don't know if you've been watching the line play, but there is some crunching going on down on this field. 2nd down. We'll call it 5. DeMarquio Hill, right side, out of the eye, is near the 10. Line to make is just shy of the 9. And they're going to mark him just outside the 10, so it's 3rd and less than a yard facing Reeths-Puffer. Might have time for one more play here first quarter.
Well, these last few plays now very typical of the Rocket offense as they'll divide those carries pretty evenly between DeMarquio Hill and Stacy Starr. You got to watch them both.
3rd down 1. 1st down, touchdown. DeMarquio Hill bursts up the middle, makes the big spin, dives into the end zone. Reeths-Puffer is on the scoreboard.
Well, what a nice play and a nice run by DeMarquio Hill. He'll take the ball from his left halfback position and cut back across the offense. Not really a reverse or a counter play, but on a slant coming back in the opposite direction, gets past the line of scrimmage, and then does the rest of it on his own as he takes a defender and just carries him on into the end zone. 6 points to DeMarquio Hill, 6 points for the Rockets.
Great job of camera work down low at the goal line. And Reeths-Puffer, you can see, celebrating their first points on the board here in this Class A state championship game. 9-6 is our score. 11 seconds still to play in this first quarter, and we've got a timeout on the field as Reeths-Puffer will talk about which 2-point play they'll run. The Rockets do not kick much.
Well, I was just going to say, Mark, you can pretty well count that they'll go for 2. It's not a decision that way. They just don't have a kicker right now in their program, and they just go for 2 points. We probably won't see them attempt field goals either, so you're right. Just deciding what play will it be as they go for 2.
Here come the Rockets. Can make this a 1-point game at 9-8 if they can convert on the 2-pointer. Jeff Zietlow, the quarterback, power I behind him this time. DeMarquio Hill trying to make the corner and does.
Once again, DeMarquio Hill making it look pretty easy, Mark. as he takes the little pitch play. Got a lot of great blocking out in front of him as his offensive line surged very well, cut off all the pursuit. His fellow backs out in front of him to get some blocks on cornerbacks and defensive backs as they come up. There you can see 2 lead blockers. DeMarchio picks his spot, just comes right in between his 2 blockers and into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Well, we've got more action from the MHSAA girls basketball and football finals coming up Saturday here on Pro-Am Sports with a triple header. We'll start things off at high noon with the Class D girls hoop finale, live from Battle Creek, followed at 2 p.m. by live coverage of the Class A championship. Then our football coverage resumes at 4 with the Class C title game between Harper Woods Bishop Gallagher and Traverse City St. Francis. That's the touchdown play again. DeMarchio Hill. Here's that spin move, Bill.
Nice move. Limp leg, just pulled it right away from the potential tackler, and then shows some power as he just drives right over Nicholas there, trying to make the tackle, and goes into the end zone.
Walled Lake Western. Chambers on the return, but had a knee down when he fielded the ball back at the 25, and you can see that there's some hitting going on and some tempers.
Well, this one we expected to be a hard-hitting ball game. I don't think I expected this much scoring in the first quarter, Mark, as we've got 9-8. That sounds like something other than football, 9-8. But an excellent ball game. 2 teams playing wide open so far, pulling out all the stops. Boy, this is going to be a dandy.
Clock is moving, and we have finished 1 quarter here at the Silver Dome. Walled Lake Western out front of Muskegon Reeths-Puffer 9-8. This is the MHSAA on pass. Bill Brandell, Mark Crawford back with you on pass with the Class A state championship game. We're just underway second quarter. And on the initial play here of this second quarter, flags flew as the ball was snapped. An incomplete pass, and we'll wait and allow referee Jim Martin to sort things out. Talking to Reeths-Puffer. And you can see we've got a little motion against Walled Lake Western. And it'll be 5 yards walked off against Western. They'll get first down over again, 1st and 15. So you didn't miss anything while you were away at commercial.
And we are right back. And we will see this drive from its beginning with a little extra 5 yards added on.
Walled Lake Western leads 9-8 in this one. Dave Watkins, the quarterback, will quick pitch to Gillert. Good strong running by Gillert as he gets back the 5 and picks up another 3 or 4. So we'll give him 9 yards on the carry. It'll be second down and about 6.
Stop made by Ron Madison from his nose position, coming defensively with some great lateral pursuit.
You see that football almost come loose there on the slow motion replay as it got punched as he turned the corner and turned sideways, but Gillert did a good job of hanging on. Same guy, left side this time, and Gillert is across the 30 to the 31. And it'll be third down and about 4. Reeths-Puffer has certainly had a look at some of the best running backs in the state. They got 2 of them on their own team between Hill and Starr, but last weekend in the semifinals, they got Randy Kinder from East Lansing, who holds the state single-season rushing record at 2,500 yards, and this week they get another 2,000-yard rusher in Gillert.
Well, I guess after Kinder, you're ready to face just about anything, but Darnie Gillert, a very talented back in his own right.
Third down, Gillert again. Oh, big hit. Gillert is met head-on by Edric Hilliard and taken down.
Oh, Edric Hilliard that time with a picture-perfect tackle. Boy, he finds Arnie Gillert Gillard adjusts his face mask or something as he comes with the ball. Just never really got up to speed. But even so, Edric Hilliard right there with a jarring shoulder tackle on Gillard. Great defensive play.
Brings up 4th down, and Walled Lake Western has Eric Gagne back at his own 20 to punt. Boy, good strong kick by Gagne. Drives Reeths-Puffer back to about their own 25. And the Puffer return by Brian Jazuski out to about the 38-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 for Reeths-Puffer. One of the state's great prep sports spectacles is the MHSAA Lower Peninsula Individual Wrestling Finals. This year, fans attending the Class A and B finals at the Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek can avoid the traditional battle for a view by purchasing a reserved seat for the 2 days of action. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster outlets statewide. 1st and 10 Puffer. Back in that T formation. DeMarcio Hill, about 5 yards up the middle. 2nd down, 5 for Puffer. Things are starting to open up a little bit for the Rockets.
Well, they are. That time it was Alex Gillert that finally made the stop. DeMarcio Hill finding another seam in there. Able to elude one tackler and come upfield. And then number 18, Alex Gillert, from a defensive back spot, able to put the stopper on him.
Alex and Arnie Gillert for Walled Lake Western are brothers. 2nd and 5. Inside to Starr this time. He is very near the sticks. It'll depend on the mark. Looks like they've got him just short. 3rd down and less than a yard, I would say, facing Reeths-Puffer.
Well, all these backs in this ball game, Mark, very difficult to bring down. That time Stacy Starr was hit by Eddie Wood, just ran right through his tackle and was not stopped until 2 more Warriors were able to come in and put a shoulder pad on him. Boy, just some excellent athletes here.
3rd down short. Starr has the 1st down, rambles into Walled Lake Western territory, and is brought down at the 44.
Well, credit some great faking inside. Jeff Zeitlo that time fakes it to Luke Bates coming right up the middle. He dives in like he's got the ball. The ball goes to number 21, Stacy Starr. He finds the seam, off tackle to his offensive left side, picks up the 1st down.
Puffer on the move, trailing 9-8 in this ball game. Dive back for 5 or 6 yards is Stacy Starr again. Boy, you can't beat that kind of 1-2 punch that Reeths-Puffer has going with DeMarcio Hill and Stacy Starr. Hill on the year coming in today, 1,600 yards, Starr over 1,300. No huddle, they'll go on 2nd down, and doesn't help them out. Stacy Starr is hit and driven back.
Well, credit some defense that time. Number 56, Derek Lindsay, from his linebacker spot. He's the leading tackler on the Warrior squad, and he was right there, but in spite of the quick snap that time, as the Rockets elected to go without a huddle and have that running game of theirs going in some good rhythm here.
3rd down, let's call it 3, facing Reeths-Puffer. 7:20 still to play 1st half. 9-8 Walled Lake Western out front. Little shift in the offensive formation. Now the defensive formation. DeMarcio Hill fumbles the football, and I think it's covered by Walled Lake Western. It is.
Well, we've seen the ball being bobbled today quite a bit. Both squads kind of hanging on to it loosely. Here you see the pitch play. It's going to be DeMarcio Hill this time. Cuts upfield, makes a nice cut, but there's an arm sticking out. Just bats the ball out of his hand. Arnie Gillert. And Arnie Gillert able to fall on the ball and make the recovery besides. So he causes the fumble, and he picks up the fumble besides, and the Rockets will have it. I'm sorry, the Warriors will have it. The Rockets give it up.
Timeout is called on the field as Walled Lake Western looking over toward head coach Chuck Apap. And finally, they call a timeout. They're going to talk things over. 9-8 is our score. Walled Lake Western out front. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware. Back at the Silverdome, you see our score, 9-8. Walled Lake Western is out front, and the Warriors have the football. 1st and 10 at their own 37. Watkins, the quarterback, on a long snap, gives to his dive back, Gary Benedict, for the first time tonight. And Benedict finds 4 or 5 yards.
And a reminder for our folks, this telecast is a copyrighted production of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, the Pontiac Silverdome Authority, and Pro-Am Sports. No reproduction of the pictures or accounts of this game may take place without the express written permission of the MHSAA and Pro-Am Sports.
Very well done, William. 2nd down 6 for the Warriors. Motion man is Kelbert. And that's Gillert forward for 3 or 4. He's across the 45. It'll be 3rd down and short. The yards have been tough to come by for both of these clubs. Kind of a strange ball game. Walled Lake Western got out front on a safety when the snap sailed over the Reeths-Puffer punter's head into the end zone, was batted out of the end zone, but that's an automatic safety in high school football. 2-0 Walled Lake Western. They followed that up with a 36-yard screen for a touchdown, and Reeths-Puffer answered with a 10-yard DeMarcio Hill TD and 2-point conversion. 9-8 is where we stand. Gillert breaks one tackle, spins near the sticks, and this will depend on the mark. The officials say they're going to measure it, but looks to me like it is short of the 42-yard line, and the mark to make was across the 42. So I think they're going to miss this by a foot.
Well, great defensive surge that time by the Rockets. Number 75, Camp McCrary, coming from his defensive tackle spot. He's 6'1" and 222 pounds. Made the initial contact, slowed up the ball carrier, and then his teammates right there and were able to stop the Warriors short of the 1st down.
It'll be 4th down and short, as you saw, and the exchange of players would suggest that Walled Lake Western is going to punt right here. Eric Gagne has punted, I think, twice before, and you see the lone deep back for Reeths-Puffer is DeMarcio Hill. Looks like Puffer may not be buying that this is a punt, but it is. Wobbles away from DeMarcio Hill. Boy, gets a great bounce and will go out of bounds inside the 10 and down at the 8.
Boy, what a great punt. I have to be honest, Mark, the Warriors make me a little nervous when they punt, as their punter, Eric Gagne, gets very close to that wall that's in front of him to block. And it looks as though he's going to kick him right in the old keister back there, but he's gotten him off.
I tell you, I noticed the same thing each time they've punted and couldn't come up with the right way to say it. So Reeths-Puffer backed up. Will start 1st and 10 from their own 8-yard line with a little bit less than 5 minutes still to play here, 1st half, in what has been an entertaining Class A state championship game. Football fumbled. Gillert picks it up and carries down to the 6. Well, is this an all-world game for Arnie Gillert so far?
Well, this has been a game for him, and it's also been a game of the ball being held rather loosely. There you see the fumble, never really had control of the ball, and Gillert able to pick it up after it rolled on the turf a little while. Boy, I tell you, there's a huge break for the Warriors.
Arnie Gillert has recovered a couple of fumbles here, caused a fumble, and has run the football a bunch as well. 1st and goal, Walled Lake Western down at the 6 of Reeths-Puffer. Gillert hit at the 5, spins his way down to the 2 or 3.
Boy, once again, just a great individual effort as Arnie Gillert hits up into his offensive right side behind the guard tackle area, finds no room at all there, spins off to his left, and is able to get down to about the 2.5-yard line.
Gillert, 12 tough carries for 26 yards so far.
Seems like more than that, doesn't
Now,
it?
he'd like about 2 more right here. Well, in part it seems like more because he's lost yards a couple of times hitting the backfield. 2nd and goal. Gillert will try the right. Bowls into the end zone, 2-yard TD. And Walled Lake Western turns the Reeths-Puffer turnover into a quick 6. And they lead 15-8.
Well, I thought that Reeths-Puffer had that one snuffed off defensively. A great line surge, a lot of flow to the ball, but credit Arnie Gillert as he spots a little seam in. Here he comes. Right up inside, you'll see him split 2 tacklers and into the end zone for the 6 points. Great individual effort, good defense, just great football, Mark.
Arnie Gillert, you saw running off the field there, has caused a fumble, recovered 2 fumbles, caught a touchdown pass, 36-yard screen, and now has run for a touchdown. And you see an injured player down on the field. Camp McCrary from Reeths-Puffer is down. One of the teams participating in the 1992 Michigan High School Athletic Association football finals will be selected as the recipient of the Good Sports Are Winners Award. The most sportsmanlike team and its followers will be honored with a commemorative banner, crystal trophy, and $1,000 donation from True Value Hardware Stores, which sponsors the MHSAA's year-round sportsmanship efforts. Frankfort was the winner of the Good Sports Are Winners Award at last year's finals. Well, you usually see great sportsmanship here at the Dome.
Oh, we always have. It's been outstanding. Bands, cheerleaders, fans, just excellent always here at the Dome. What a great weekend this is. You know, I've had the pleasure of doing that a number of times. Our injured player, Camp McCrary, up on his feet now. He was having his leg examined in the knee area. We won't speculate on what kind of an injury or just how severe it is at this point, but he is being helped from the field right now. And that's a good sign that he is able to walk on it at least with a little help.
Yeah, he is putting his weight on it, so we'll assume that's perhaps not a serious injury. We hope not for Camp McCrary. Fine senior tackle for Reeths-Puffer. Conversion attempt is upcoming for Walled Lake Western. Travis Ilacqua is on to boot it. Out of the hold of quarterback Dave Watkins. Fake. Boy, is there a stick right there. Watkins runs into Luke Bates, helmet on helmet, and is down right there.
Well, and Luke Bates remains down right there also, but what a collision. My, oh my. Here you see Dave Watkins electing to keep the ball. I'm not sure he thinks that's a good choice about right now. And just about a helmet-to-helmet collision, Mark. Wow. Luke Bates still down now and being attended to.
Conversion is turned away. Our score remains 15-8. So a 7-point lead for Walled Lake Western. And we can see some movement. Luke Bates, and we will certainly hope he's okay. One of the programs sponsored by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, which truly underscores the value of educational athletics, is the Scholar Athlete Award, sponsored by Farm Bureau Insurance. Over 1,700 applications were received this year for the 23 $1,000 college scholarships, which will be presented. Applications for this year's awards are closed, with the scholarship recipients to be honored at the boys basketball finals at the Palace of Auburn Hills in March. Students interested in applying for the Scholar Athlete Award for 1993-94 should contact their high school principal. And I know we have one young man in this ball game who is among the nominees. That's Matt Engott from Walled Lake Western. Football, basketball, and track athlete for the Warriors. Clock is stopped with 3:35 still to play in the first half here at the Pontiac Silverdome. 15-8 is our score. Walled Lake Western leads Reeths-Puffer. And things are held up as Luke Bates is being attended to down on the field. 2-point conversion try a few moments ago, and Bates came up to make a big hit on quarterback Dave Watkins trying the keeper right side. And Bates has been down ever since.
Well, Luke Bates is a senior also, Mark. 2 plays in a row for Reeths-Puffer. They have had an outstanding ball player go down to injury. Luke Bates is 5'9" and 170 pounds, and he's the blocking back that stands in between the 2 headline ball carriers, DeMarquio Hill and Stacy Starr for the Rockets. He's now up on his feet, and it looks as though they're going to take him into the locker room, and I believe they have x-ray facilities here at the Silverdome, Mark, and I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't appear to be some type of a shoulder injury, and they may go in and take some pictures of that right away.
Well, we will wish Luke Bates the best and hope that he's all right. I think you're right. Looked like an arm or a shoulder injury of some kind. Walled Lake will boot it away. Travis Ilacqua, who has a great leg, will kick off. DeMarquio Hill is the deep back for the Rockets. High kick going to be fielded by DeMarquio at about the 6. And he crosses the 20 to about 23 or 24 yard line. Good strong stick by Tracy Coughlin of Walled Lake Western. And Reeths-Puffer will start right there, 1st and 10. Well, we are seeing some solid hits.
Boy, we are. There's a tackle right there that you draw up on the blackboard also. A hit right at about the hip area, pick up the ball carrier and drive them to the turf.
You know, on special teams play, you rarely see a hit that solid. Usually players are dragged down or knocked over when they're dancing around. But again, the great technique, shoulder pads right on the thigh and wrap them up. 1st and 10. Puffer's Rockets dive it forward for a couple, 2 or 3. DeMarquio Hill.
And one of the few times we see a back go down with just one hand, but the hand happened to be right on the ankle. And DeMarquio Hill, although he saw a big seam in his offensive line, somewhere a hand snatched out, grabbed his ankle, and down he went.
Clock shows 2:40 still to play first half. Reeths-Puffer, who pass very little, may surprise us here at some point as they've got 70-some yards to travel in about 2.5 minutes. This is DeMarquio Hill, who needs to pass when Hill can turn on the Jets. 73 yards, DeMarquio Hill, and Reeths-Puffer can take the lead with a 2-point conversion.
Oh, what a pretty play. DeMarquio Hill on an inside counter takes the handoff from quarterback Jeff Zeitlow. And as that counter is a little slow, you can see the great hole opened up by the offensive line as that line search continues. DeMarquio Hill finds the outside route wide open, heads down the sidelines, knows he has the end zone, cuts back towards the inside, and he'll take it all the way to the end zone. 6 points on the board for the Rockets.
Ross Dingwall is here working stats for us, Bill, and Ross says with that 73 yards, Hill crosses the century mark, 10 carries, 104 yards.
Well, that was a beautiful run, but credit DeMarquio, but once again, credit some of those offensive linemen up front also. Mark Naparella, Kevin Barr, Stuart Brown, Rob Wilkes, Bob Canar, all those young men with great blocks that time. You could see that play develop, Mark, and they just had great line surge, occupied their blocks while the inside counter took that little bit of time that it does to develop. And boy, by the time DeMarquio Hill was to the line of scrimmage, there was nobody home.
Reeths-Puffer, as mentioned, will go for 2. We expect every time they score here today. And they trail right now 15-14, so with the 2-point conversion would take the 1-point 16-15 lead. Well, Coach, you thought maybe the defenses could dominate this game. I think you're wrong.
Well, it looks that way as we've got some great athletes out here carrying the ball and great athletes on both sides of the ball. They just seem to be unstoppable so far. And, Mark, I see great defense being played. I see generally people in the area on the ball carriers, but it's just not to happen when one tackler and one ball carrier, the ball carriers are winning.
2-point try. Zietlow, the quarterback. Oh, a little trouble and not going to make it. Stacy Starr and Zietlow kind of got caught up with each other there, and the 2-point conversion falls about a yard short.
Well, Mark, it appeared as though the defense was a little bit disorganized. As the ball was about to be snapped, the Warriors were moving their defensive players around. But as you mentioned, a little bit of collision here as things got crowded in the backfield. And DeMarco Hill not able to, or this is the replay for the touchdown. And this, again, a thing of beauty. Look at that line surge, as I mentioned. Wow. DeMarco Hill, once he hits that open spot, he's gone. But on that extra point again, Mark, there was a collision offensively in the backfield and just not able to get Stacy Starr, just not able to get to the goal line.
Well, still 2:18 left to play in this first half. 15-14 is our score. Walled Lake Western leads.
Here we see the extra point again now, and there you see the little bit of collision, quarterback, and there's the surge by Stacy Starr, but he comes up just maybe a half a yard short of the goal line.
Bottom line is Stacy Starr had the football, looked ahead, and there's nothing but 4 white jerseys in front of him. Wondered where all the green guys went.
Well, there's that defense once again. What a great ball game, Mark. 15-14. Got 2:18 left in this first half.
Mark Naparella will boot it away for Reeths-Puffer. Little squibber will finally bounce to Walled Lake's Jeff Howrun. And he's across the 30 to nearly the 31. And it'll be good field position again for the Warriors of Western. 1st and 10 at their own 31 with just over 2 minutes to work with.
Well, Jeff Howrun that time with the fielding of the kickoff looked up and there was just that solid wall of green shirts coming down. He hesitated just momentarily looking for a seam, couldn't find anything, and you just better not hesitate in this ball game. I'll tell you, you draw a crowd if you got that ball with you.
Dave Watkins, the Walled Lake quarterback, has thrown for more than 500 yards this year. Let's see if Western comes out throwing it. Nope. Arnie Gillert forward for a yard or two as the clock moves and shows us 1:35 still to play first half.
Eric Morsfeld down on the bottom of that stop. Number 70, he's 6'1", 230-pound senior. One of those defensive standouts once again for the Rockets.
Well, we hope you're enjoying this one. 2 unbeatens. Muskegon Reeths-Puffer and Walled Lake Western, both 12-0. Battling for the Class A state championship, and it's 15-14. Walled Lake Western out front by 1. Pitch play, Gillert. Nothing doing. I saw Edric Hilliard over there, but there were plenty of other green jerseys as well.
I think I saw Scott Gowdy over there from a linebacker spot. Great pursuit.
And a timeout called by Reeths-Puffer as Pete Kuches says it's 3rd down 10 for Walled Lake. I'd like to at least force them to punt maybe one time.
Well, as potent as these two ball clubs are, they'll want to have as many offensive possessions as they possibly can get. And the big 3rd down and about 9 coming up here for the Warriors. As you mentioned, Mark, Reeths-Puffer decides, well, let's stop that clock here and let's see if we can't get this ball back one more time before the half rolls around. And we don't want to go in necessarily 1 point down.
Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. And there are 54 seconds on the clock. Well, December dreams come true at the 1992 MHSAA Girls Basketball Finals this Saturday at the Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek. The Class DA doubleheader begins at noon and the evening session at 6 p.m. offers the C and B title games. Plenty of tickets remain for both sessions, and if you can't get to the finals, catch all the action here on Pass. Here we go, 3rd down 9, Walled Lake Western. Benedict and Gillert behind quarterback Dave Watkins. He'll throw. Home run ball incomplete. Matt Engott had a step on the Reeths-Puffer defender, but the football just barely overthrown. 4th down.
Well, a big arm here as Dave Watkins shows he can throw the ball. Matt Engott comes from his end position, and he's behind the defense, but just not able to stretch out far enough to get his hands on the ball.
Deep to return it for Reeths-Puffer is DeMarcio Hill. Gagne will punt from his own 20. Block was on, but there are flags everywhere before the snap. Tell you, not only was the block on, but about 6 of them got through.
I was going to say the whistle blown very quickly here. It's going to go against the Warriors.
Down 9, Walled Lake Western. Benedict and Gillert behind quarterback Dave Watkins. He'll throw. Home run ball incomplete. Matt Engott had a step on the Reeths-Puffer defender, but the football just barely overthrown. 4th down.
Well, a big arm here as Dave Watkins shows he can throw the ball. Matt Engott comes from his end position, and he's behind the defense, but just not able to stretch out far enough to get his hands on the ball.
Deep to return it for Reeths-Puffer is DeMarcio Hill. Gagne will punt from his own 20. Block was on, but there are flags everywhere before the snap. Tell you, not only was the block on, but about 6 of them got through.
I was going to say the whistle blown very quickly here. It's going to go against the Warriors of Walled Lake Western. They'll back up about 5 yards here. Somebody moving as obviously the team not set as the ball was snapped for that punt.
The procedure call against Walled Lake Western will back up punter Eric Gagne to his own 15. Puffer coming again. I think they might have gotten it. It's bouncing out of bounds at about the 42 or 43. I'm not sure if they blocked it or if it was just a quick kick because of the high snap. In any case, it's great field position for Reeths-Puffer with 41 seconds left first half.
Well, I see Eric Mooresfield patting himself on the head here. I think it hit something in there, as you said, Mark, because it certainly didn't have a very straight trajectory as it came out of that pile of people. And as we guessed, Reeths-Puffer will end up with great field position and have one more chance offensively in this second half, or first half, I'm sorry. Still couldn't see whether that actually hit anybody or who it hit.
Here come the Rockets, down 15-14. Walled Lake in a little bit of a prevent. They throw it out to DeMarcio Hill. He was open, but it's over his head and out of bounds. So DeMarcio Hill being moved from his running back slot to one of the receive positions. It's incomplete, 2nd down 10. 36 seconds remain here first half in what has been an action-packed first half of football. Jeff Zietlow, the quarterback, will pitch. We're going to run reverse to DeMarcio Hill. And all that for 7 or 8 yards down to about the 36. Clock is still moving, and now Reeths-Puffer must use their last timeout to stop it with 23 seconds left. And let's go back, Bill, to Reeths-Puffer's lack of a kicker. They're going to have to score 6 points.
Well, they won't even try the field goal, and here you see the reverse play. DeMarco Hill ending up with the ball. Some good defensive work once again as Arnie Gillert stayed home and caused DeMarco Hill to turn back inside where his teammates were. Kind of a gambling running play at this time, but as you said, Mark, something that you have to consider in a state championship game without the ability to kick the field goal. In this situation, you're down by only 1 point. That would certainly be a valuable weapon, and that's something that Reeths-Puffer just simply does not have at this time.
Taj Chambers made the stop for Walled Lake Western on the last play. 3rd down 3. More importantly, if you're a Rocket fan, as those folks are, 23 seconds, all that remain here in the first half, and there's 36 yards of Silverdome real estate between you and the end zone. Zietlow runs kind of a draw. Stacy Starr bouncing off players is driven down at about the 25. It's a first down. Reeths-Puffer can't stop the clock. The officials do stop it to move the chains with 15 seconds left. So Puffer can get off 1 or 2 more. They could just throw the ball real fast here to stop it. See if they run a play. Well, they're heaving it over the middle, complete inside the 15, but that is first down. It's enough to stop the clock again with 7 seconds left. The Rockets doing a good job of ball management.
Oh, this is a great little 2-minute offensive drill here put on by the Rockets.
Likely the last play. DeMarco Hill falls out of bounds. Let's see what the officials do. The Reeths-Puffer fans say there was a second left when he went out of bounds, and I think the officials are going to huddle and talk about it. Walled Lake wants to leave the field.
They're heading for the locker room.
We're getting out of here.
Over. They say it's over.
And the officials agree. The officials agree.
Mixed emotions on the part of our fans, but that is the end of the first half.
Well, we have played a great first half of football here at the Silverdome. Walled Lake Western clinging to a 15-14 lead. This is the MHSAA Championship Network. Back at the Dome, 15-14, Walled Lake Western out front. And let's take a listen to Western's marching band. Muskegon Reeths-Puffer up next. show from the Reeths-Puffer Rocket Marching Band and Walled Lake Western. And a great ball game. 15-14 is our score here at the half. One of your network sponsors is Big Boy Restaurants. Mark Crawford and Bill Brandell back with you from the Pontiac Silverdome. Walled Lake Western 15, Muskegon Reeths-Puffer 14 in what has been a great first half of football, William, and statistically, Reeths-Puffer really the better of things.
Well, definitely the better of things, except in one category, and that's up on the scoreboard. First downs, Reeths-Puffer 7, the Warriors just 2. Total yardage gives you the same kind of a situation. The Reeths-Puffer team with 163 total yards, just 70 total yards for the Warriors. But at the same time, the Warriors lead 15-14.
Well, the bugaboo for Reeths-Puffer comes down there under fumbles.
Well, it does. Turnovers, always important, and those big turnovers down close to your goal line, extremely important, as in this case, Walled Lake Western able to take the ball from about the 8-yard line, I believe, and move it right into the end zone for a quick score.
All right, Bill, we've had a lot of great plays in this ball game, some fierce hitting on defense, but I think we've got one of those great plays for you. DeMarquio Hill's long touchdown run.
Well, this is a little inside counter, and you'll see some great line surge and blocking. There's the line surge as you see the blockers out in front. And when you give DeMarquio Hill some room like that, he just turns it on down the sideline, takes a glance over his shoulder, says, nobody's going to catch me, takes it back towards the middle of the field and on into the end zone for 6 points. A beautiful run. Credit DeMarquio Hill, but boy, what a great blocking front wall he had.
Individually, DeMarquio Hill now across the century mark, has about 110 yards rushing in that first half. His counterpart on the Walled Lake Western side, Arnie Gillert, the great running back, has only 30 or 40 yards rushing, but gee, he's caused a fumble. He's recovered 2 fumbles. What else did he do? He caught a pass for a touchdown, and he ran for a touchdown.
Well, you're right. He has been an extremely important part of this ball game, but net yards rushing a surprise for the Walled Lake Western Warriors as just 35 net total yards rushing. Remember now, they have that excellent back, Arnie Gillert, who has well over 2,000 yards himself this year, 29 touchdowns coming into this ball game, and boy, the running game has just been stymied, and I think that's a key, Mark. They're going to have to straighten that out.
All right, great football game, good second half coming up. This is the MHSAA on Pass. You look across the Pontiac Silverdome, where we get set for second half of play. Class A state championship game. Walled Lake Western 15, Muskegon Reeths-Puffer 14. I'm Mark Crawford, joined as always by the old coach Bill Brandell. It was a fascinating first half of football, and we expect more fireworks here in half number 2. 7th year for the MHSAA finals here at the Dome, and just a perfect location for high school football's championship days here in Michigan. Travis Ilacqua will boot it away for Walled Lake Western. Deep man DeMarquio Hill. Screaming line drive that's fielded back at the goal line by DeMarquio Hill. And he's across the 20 and out near the 25. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rockets right there. Pete Kuches, the head coach for Reeths-Puffer. Chuck Apop is the head man at Walled Lake Western. And their clubs have acquitted themselves very well here this evening. Been a great ball game. Zietlow, number 17, is the quarterback. Hill and Starr do most of the work behind him. Back in the ball game, I'm happy to report Luke Bates, number 22, who left the field. Looked like he had a shoulder injury, but Bates is back there in his fullback spot. That's Stacy Starr on the carry.
And the stop by Steve Bingham from the nose position. Mark, 6'1", 238-pound senior. He came in there, looked to me, unblocked. Made a nice hit.
No gains, 2nd down 10 for Reeths-Puffer. Double tight end, very tight splits for the Rockets. power football. Well, they want to try that counter play, and DeMarcio Hill was knocked around as they handed him the football and maybe got to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, Mark, once again, I kind of singled out Steve Bingham that time to watch him again. He came from that nose position and just handled the offensive center, Stuart Brown. He not only handled Stewart, but he had a hold of Jeff Zeitlo at the same time. So he is doing some big, heavy work down in the middle in that defense.
Matt Lobig, number 79, the player who actually banged into Hill first. They'll throw, have a man open in the flats, DeMarcio Hill. First down yardage plus a bit more across the 40. A 16-yard gain. Zietlow to DeMarcio Hill. 1st and 10, Reeths-Puffer.
Andy Nicholas on the stop for the Warriors that time in that defensive back position, but a lot of open yardage over there for DeMarcio Hill as he found an open area on the sideline.
The Rockets, a club that only completed 13 passes all season long, Bill, in 12 games. And they've hit a couple of big ones here in this ball game. 1st and 10, Reeths-Puffer. Dive back is Luke Bates, and maybe a yard.
Well, as you said, good to see Luke Bates back in there. He's the blocking back, comes from the fullback position in that T offense that the Rockets use, and the headlines go to DeMarcio Hill and Stacey Starr, but once you pay too much attention to those guys, Luke Bates will bring it to you right up the middle. He's kind of the bull as far as the offensive running game is concerned.
2nd down, 8, Reeths-Puffer. DeMarcio Hill carries to the midfield stripe, or it'll be 3rd down and about 1.
Well, I have to credit Jeff Zeitlo. Does some great faking, Mark, as you see right there. Does a reverse out from under center, fakes to his offensive right side, and then gives back inside to DeMarcio Hill. And DeMarcio takes advantage of that seam as he comes right up the middle.
3rd down, 1. Zietlow is up across his center, Stuart Brown. Hill is hit and driven back. They won't get it.
Well, there's the same play. This time's just not going to fly. Matt Lobig down there deep on the spot, number 79. Another one of those big senior defensive linemen, 6 foot, 232 pounds.
Boy, Lobig just fought off a block, beat the offensive lineman to the inside, and went shoulder pad to shoulder pad, stood him up. 4th down, 1, and Reeths-Puffer will go. Looked like Zietlow may be changing the play at the line. 1st down. Luke Bates, Bill, as you mentioned. You go to Hill, you go to Starr, and when you need some yards, you go to Luke Bates.
Well, that's a great example of just what we were talking about. When you've got two great offensive threats back there, you know the defense is going to key on those two guys, so you give it to the middle man, and this time it's Luke Bates right up the middle, picks up the 1st down and some extra yards to go along with it.
All 4 of those skill position players for Reeths-Puffer, Hill, Starr, Bates, and Zietlow, are seniors. 1st and 10, Puffer. DeMarcio Hill has about 5. He's tripped up. Norm Garman, number 75, stopped what might have been 6 points.
Well, once again, the reverse out by Jeff Zietlow gets the defense flowing in run direction, then he hands back to DeMarcio Hill. And as we've mentioned over and over again, he doesn't need a lot of room, but there was a big seam that time created by that front wall. He takes advantage and moves it up for about 5-6 yards.
Walled Lake Western 15, Reeths-Puffer 14. 7 minutes still to play 3rd quarter from the Silverdome. Glad you're with us. DeMarcio Hill fights forward near the 1st down. Looks like it'll be 3rd and very short. Bill, really an important possession here for both clubs. Walled Lake Western has not trailed in this game. Reeths-Puffer has come out here to start the 2nd half, and looks like they're going to try and establish who's got the running game out here.
Well, actually, statistic-wise, as we mentioned at halftime, they have the running game going, well over 100 yards rushing, but they have had some costly turnovers and have not put the points on the board.
More room. Stacey Starr is down to the 25. Gain of 10 on the carry by Stacy Starr. 1st and 10, Reeths-Puffer.
Well, Andy Nicholas from a defensive back position forced to make the stop. Here you see Stacy Starr take the handoff, finds that nice seam created by that offensive front wall again, and he's all the way into the secondary before he runs into Andy Nicholas and goes down.
Rockets threatening to take the lead. 1st and 10 at the Walled Lake 25. Right up the middle to Markio Hill. Busting tackles and down inside the 15.
Well, once again, well into the defensive backfield goes an offensive ball carrier, Alex Gillert, the last man able to put the stop. This time it's to Markio Hill. There you see number 18, Alex Gillert. Nice tackle, open tackle, but a fine gain, big yardage for DeMarkio Hill.
Walled Lake Western, the coaching staff, Chuck Apap and the Brain Trust, don't like what they're seeing as Reeths-Puffer marching through them. They call a timeout. They're going to talk things over with 6:01 still to play third quarter. It's a 15-14 Walled Lake Western lead. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware. Here go the Rockets on 1st down from the 11, maybe 12-yard line of Walled Lake Western. Forward for perhaps a yard is Reeths-Puffer. It'll be 2nd down. They could pick up a 1st down just inside the 2. As you saw, our score is 15-14. Walled Lake Western leads this one by a point. Ball game for the Class A state championship. Zietlow with that T backfield behind him. Has a trailing back with him. Zietlow driven out of bounds at the 6. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, a little option play that time as Zietlow comes to his offensive left side. Has a pitch back out there. Doesn't really look for him as he's decided right here, I'm keeping it. Notice the ball hanging out there, Mark, like a loaf of bread again. Remember that the Rockets have turned the ball over here by way of the fumble. They need to cover that up when you get into that hitting zone.
3rd down. About 5 facing Reeths-Puffer. 6 for the touchdown. Zietlow changes it up at the line. Well pitched, DeMarkio Hill won't get there. They're going to mark him at about the 3. It'll be 4th down. And Bill, we've talked about it several times. The information we have is that Reeths-Puffer will not kick a field goal even in this situation. They will go here. 4th down and 1 from the 3 of Walled Lake Western.
Well, with the running weapons that they have, there are 3 backs that are very capable of putting this ball in the end zone. Pressure now on the defense for the Warriors of Walled Lake Western. Big 4th down play.
Boy, I don't know. Fumble! And covered by Walled Lake Western. I'm not sure if Reeths-Puffer had made the 1st down mark.
Boy, they are marking the ball right at about the 2-inch line, Mark. Let's take a look. There you see Luke Bates with the ball, runs into a defensive jam pile. And we'll see where the ball is. There he tries to reach out with it, and it gets knocked out of his hand. And here's the ball rolling tantalizingly towards the goal line and finally covered by one of the Warriors, number 18, Alex Gillert, Johnny on the spot. And once again, we talked about the big turnover. Boy, what a great example.
Well, they're going to move the football out to about the 3-yard line. And I won't speculate on why that is, unless they're going to say the running back is down.
They have to say you can't advance a fumble.
In any case, gives the Warriors at least a little bit of room to work with. Watkins gives off to Gillert, and he's got nothing. Gillert is met at the line by Scott Gowdy, number 85. He's down right there.
And Camp McCrary, I believe, also there, Mark, and that's another of the injured players that we see back in the ball game now. I also see Eric Morsfeld down there on the bottom. Great defensive teamwork.
Yeah, I think maybe Morsfeld is the guy who made the first hit, number 70. They're going to give him a gain of about a half yard. It'll be 2nd down and still virtually 10. The Puffer fans are making some noise. Little pass play and incomplete. Great faking as they gave it off to Gillard in the line.
Well, Dave Watkins fooled me, Mark.
Me
thought
too.
They gave it off. Watkins ends up back in the end zone with the ball. Great bit of faking there as he hides the ball on his hip. Faked out our cameraman also for a moment there, and here you see the pass now. Just a little bit too far out in front. Could have been intercepted by Edric Hilliard.
Well, Chuck Apap says it took me 15 years as a head coach to get here. We're not going to be conservative now as he throws on second from his own end zone. Now 3rd down 10. Football's loose. Well, now what are they going to do? I think Walled Lake Western covered it as Dave Watkins lost the handle on the football back in his own end zone. Ball is almost kicked out of the end zone. We do have a player down. It's going to be 4th down facing Walled Lake Western.
Boy, Mark, you hate to guess here, but I think it's quarterback Dave Watkins.
Well, it's in the area where it is Watkins. It's in the area where he was tackled finally, and it is Watkins. And they will attend to him in the end zone. Walled Lake Western will be looking at 4th down and still about 10. You'll see it again here. The football caroms off Watkins' foot after he lost it, and he must have been hurt right about then.
Well, he's got great defensive pressure in his face, and there you see him try to tuck it away. I think he had given up the idea of throwing the ball, was going to try to at least get it out of the end zone. Boy, a great opportunity there for Reeths-Puffer to recover the ball at about the 3-yard line, but couldn't quite wrap it up. So it brings up a 4th down at about the 3-yard line, and we see quarterback Dave Watkins going off the field under his own power, just shaken up with that big hit back there.
A boy, a ball, a dream. Watch the drama of the 1993 MHSAA Boys Basketball Finals unfold by attending this year's finals at the Palace of Auburn Hills on March 27th. Public sale of tickets begins March 1st through the Palace box office and at Ticketmaster outlets statewide. Well, that's always a great time, the boys basketball finals at the Palace.
Another one of those special weekends that you and I enjoy. This has got to be my favorite, to be honest, the football weekend here. But basketball, great also.
Gagne will punt from his own end zone. Good kick. Going to be fumbled. Picked off by Walled Lake. Chambers picks it off on the hop. Takes it some 60 yards for the touchdown, and lightning strikes for Walled Lake Western.
Well, once again, Walled Lake Western must be living under the lucky star. Here you see the punt. This is a muff punt. As you can see, it touched the hands, and there you see number 22.
It's Tyus Chambers.
Tyus Chambers, quite a story himself, just 5'3", 154 pounds. And Mark, I thought this was going to be the case. You cannot advance a muff punt. I had to wait for the replay because I didn't know for sure whether he touched it or not with his hands. I thought it might have been just on his foot. But he actually had his hands on the ball, and that's a muff. That's not a fumble. And high school rules say you cannot advance a muffed punt.
All right, so had the football gone off his foot, they could advance it.
I believe so, yes. In that case, it's just a touching of the ball.
Well, in the end, it's still a big break for Walled Lake Western. The Warriors will start 1st and 10. From their own 37-yard line, gets them out of a hole. New quarterback is in the ball game with the injury to Dave Watkins. Flags fly everywhere. Alex Gillert, number 18, is in now playing at quarterback.
Well, on this first offensive set for the Warriors, they have an offensive lineman line up in the neutral zone, so the flags fly immediately, as you described, Mark, and Wall Lake Western puts themselves in a little bit more of a hole now, make it 1st and 15.
Alex Gillert is a 6'1", 185-pound junior, and is in for the injured Dave Watkins. 1st and 15. And has some trouble on his first play as he bangs into Gary Benedict, the fullback. And Benedict might have fought it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, is this a tough place to come in and play quarterback?
I would guess. State championship game.
15-14.
My, oh my. And you know that has to be a fired-up Reeths-Puffer defense, as they have just turned the ball over by way of that muffed punt. They have fire in their eyes. They want that ball back. They were just denied down on about the 3-yard line. Now they give the ball back on the muffed punt.
Second down. Gillert to Gillert. Busting through a hole. And it's Arnie Gillert has the first down yardage and fights his way into Reeths-Puffer territory.
And what a big first down for the Warriors, as Arnie Gillert takes the handoff from his brother now at quarterback, moves the ball up for the first down. He did a lot of this on his own, Mark, as he breaks 2-3 tackles there in order to pick up the necessary yardage. Move those down stakes down the field.
Gillert now 46 yards rushing in the game, says Ross Dingwall, working stats for us. 1st and 10. Walled Lake Western runs the little option play to Gillert. Cuts it outside. And Gillert all the way inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 Warriors.
Well, again, a picture-perfect option play. Here you see the quarterback pitch the ball out. Arnie Gillert now finds some room and dips to the inside, then goes outside, and watch the tightrope down the sidelines as Gillert turns on the jets. He has really got some great balance as he picks up an extra 10, 15 yards as he just tightropes the sidelines.
Back in the ballgame, Dave Watkins now at quarterback. Gives to Gillert, who starts left, stops, and maybe gets to the line of scrimmage. The Reeths-Puffer defense stiffens there. Eric Mooresfeld, among others, there on the stop.
Ron Madison once again from his nose position defensively. Interesting story there. Ron Madison, 5'8", 160 pounds and a junior, and he plays opposite Steve Bingham, who is 6'1", 238 pounds and a senior.
You keep wanting to put an N in that name, Bingham. 2nd down 10. Might be the last play of our third quarter. There are 20 seconds left in the third stanza. And Gillert, hit in the backfield by Hill, eludes that tackle, but Ron Madison, your man, is right there again. It's a loss of a yard. And that is going to be the last play of this third quarter here from the Dome. Zeros on the scoreboard clock. 15-14 is our score. Walled Lake Western out front by 1. This is the MHSAA on Pass. Minutes remain here at the Pontiac Silverdome in the Class A State Championship game. Walled Lake Western out front 15-14 over the Rockets of Reeths-Puffer. I'm Mark Crawford. Hope you're enjoying our ball game along with Bill Brandell. The Dinger, Ross Dingwall, working stats with us, and our thanks to Rob Kaminsky, who's here floor directing as well. Walled Lake Western, 3rd down and 11 from the 21 of Reeths-Puffer. Well, Watkins wanted to run the option play, waited and waited and waited, and finally brought down at the line of scrimmage. And he's very slow getting up.
Well, a little cat and mouse play by the defensive end for Reeths-Puffer. And Watkins, I'm sorry, as you see, just could not make a decision. Finally turned it up inside. Just found no room at all there. As Keith Rodriguez was the end that just made some great defensive fakes inside and outside to cause Dave Watkins not to be able to make the pitch and then not be able to pick up any yardage himself as he turned up inside.
4th and 10, Walled Lake Western will opt to try the field goal. Quarterback Dave Watkins will spot it at the 27. It's a 37-yard try for Ilaqua. Plenty of leg. Missed it to the left. We do have flags down, however.
Boy, plenty of leg that time by Travis Ilaqua as he boomed the ball high up into the net behind the goal post.
He's going to get another chance here. The penalty is going to be against Reeths-Puffer. As they stepped in the neutral zone, it'll be 4th down 5. And now he'll try it from 32 yards. Well, Ilaqua, we're told, is one of the best kickers, place kickers in the state of Michigan. He has kicked 9 field goals this year, 3 of them from better than 40 yards.
I think he's up to 10 now, Mark, and one of them 44 yards, so plenty of leg.
Well, this one hits the net, still going up, down the pipe, and it's 3 points for Walled Lake Western. Stretches their lead out to 4, 18-14.
Well, Travis Ilaqua gets a second chance and makes no doubt about it. As you said, Mark, the ball with just plenty of power going through the uprights, still on the move up, and just puts another 3 points on the board.
One of your network sponsors, Health Alliance Plan. Edric Hilliard returned the ball to the 34-yard line for Reeths-Puffer, and they will start 1st and 10. There's Hilliard. Boy, there was some hitting out there again, a gang tackle. And a couple of folks who were shoulder pad to shoulder pad after the whistle. Here come the Rockets. They've been able to move the football throughout this game, have committed some costly turnovers. DeMarquio Hill is forward for a couple. 3 or 4 Rocket fumbles have cost them here.
Well, as you said, Mark, they have been able to run the ball. Their backs have been extremely potent running the ball, but those key turnovers have just thwarted a number of fine offensive drives that they've had. The field goal against them doesn't change a whole lot for them, as they've got to get the ball in the end zone, and they would not kick a field goal anyway. They just don't have that kind of a kicking game, so didn't change a whole lot when those 3 points for the field goal went up on the board.
Flags everywhere as Stacy Starr fights forward for a couple, 2 or 3. The stop is made by Norm Garman, but we'll wait and see how they sort things out. Bates, 4 carries for 10 yards, Starr 10 for 50, and Hill 18 carries, 140 yards for the Rockets of Reeths-Puffer. Gillert leads Walled Lake Western, as you would expect, 19 carries for 74 yards, the last total we have for Arnie Gillert.
Another interesting story, Mark, on this defensive front for the Warriors. They go across the front at 6'3", 185, 6 foot 232, 6'1", 238, 6'1", 222, then 5'3", 154. Well, no, that's not a mistake. 5'3", 154, Taj Chambers, a senior, and a potent member of that defense he is. Has some excellent stats defensively.
15-yard walk-off for an illegal block against Reeths-Puffer. They'll throw out in the flats and incomplete. John Boersma was there, and just beyond his outstretched hands goes the football. It'll be 3rd down and still about 20.
There you see Jeff Zietlow's pass just out of the outstretched arms over there of John Boersma.
Good look into the Rocket huddle They trail in this Class A state championship game 18-14 with 9:29 yet to play. I formation behind Zietlow, the quarterback. It'll be the draw. Stacked up, but I'll tell you, DeMarquio Hill busts it out of there, and he'll manage about 10 yards out of nothing.
Boy, DeMarquio Hill coming up inside, finds a wall, just can't get any room at all, backs up a little bit. There you see the little fake pass with the arms up in the air, so the draw goes to DeMarquio Hill. Nothing doing straight up the field, but with the talent of that young man and the quick feet, he makes it to the outside, picks up a nice 10 yards.
It'll be 4th down and about 10. And Luke Bates is on to punt. I think this is only about the second time all game Reeths-Puffers had to punt. Punted on their first possession. Boy, great punt too. Fair catch by Gillert back at about the 25. I should say they went to punt on their first possession, snapped it over the punter's head, ended up as a safety. Most of the other Reeths-Puffer drives have been stopped by mistakes or they've scored touchdowns.
Well, we've been describing how they've been able to move the ball via that running game of theirs, but they just have shot themselves in the proverbial foot every time they've gotten down close, giving it up by way of the fumble. So once again, we see the Warriors with the ball offensively. Nothing they'd like better now than to control the ball, take a lot of time off the clock, march it down the field.
Walled Lake Western, the first-time playoff qualifier, 8.5 minutes away from the Class A state title. They'll dive up the middle. Gary Benedict has about 3 or 4, and William, if you're Chuck Apap, the Walled Lake Warrior head football coach, right now, what you want to do is see about a 7.5, 8-minute drive. Take your time and march it downfield.
Just exactly, Mark, and you don't want to do anything fancy with it. But, you know, sometimes that can cause your team to lose its momentum. You can't get too conservative. You got to keep the ball moving. And against this tough Reeths-Puffer defense, I'm not sure they can just pound it up the middle.
2nd down, 6. Watkins to Gillert, who spins forward. Has 4 or 5 yards on 2nd and 3rd effort. I like Arnie Gillert, 5'10", 201-pound senior, is making a lot of yards on his own.
Boy, he has been a workhorse today, and defensively, Dan Brown stops him once again. That's a name we've been calling all day long. Defensively, those two have seen a lot of each other.
Brown came all the way across the field from his end position to make the stop. And a big play right here, 3rd down and about a yard. Every first down is probably worth 2 to 3 minutes for Walled Lake Western. Clock shows 7:15 to play. 1st down.
Well,
Gillert fights through the line.
Right, Mark. Gillert once again hit at the line of scrimmage, but gets that solid positive body lean and is able to just push and drive forward enough to pick up the 1st down. As you said, that means if you hang on to the ball, 2-3 minutes can go off the clock.
Now less than 7 minutes to play in this Class A state championship game. Walled Lake Western nursing an 18-14 lead. They are 1st and 10. Watkins to Gillert again. And Gillert has about 3. Be 2nd down, 7. Stop was made by Reeths-Puffer's Edric Hilliard, who is another one of the Rockets that's played a great game.
Well, we've been calling some special people all day today, and this has been just an excellent ball game. Some key mistakes, not perfectly played, but as far as spectators are concerned and as far as sportsmanship is concerned, what a great effort we've seen out here on the part of both teams, Mark. That's an excellent example of high school athletics at its best.
2nd down, 7. Going to be another 3rd down short. This one looks like about 3rd and almost 2. As again, the familiar running style of Arnie Gillert.
Look at the positive yardage he picks up after he's been hit, Mark. That's the sign of an excellent back. Not content to stop when that first contact comes, but drive forward, lean into your opponent, pick up that extra yard, that extra foot or so.
Reeths-Puffer needs penetration right here on 3rd down, long 1, short 2. Oh, movement on the line for Walled Lake Western. And it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Oh, a big mistake there by Walled Lake Western, and they have not made very many today, but changes that 3rd down situation from real short yardage into a lot more difficult. 7-8 yards now needed for the 1st down. So that changes your play calling, sets up different strategy completely.
You see our clock moving inside 5:10 still to play. Reeths-Puffer trails by 4. They need the football. Walled Lake Western looks at 3rd down 6. Oh, they're going to throw it. Alex Gillert downfield, intercepted. And down at the 35-yard line goes Reeths-Puffer's Edric Hilliard. And the Rockets are alive.
Well, this pass never had a chance as Alex Gillert throws the ball. He just cannot get it deep enough for his intended receiver, who is deep downfield. Johnny on the spot. Edric Hilliard intercepts the ball, runs into his own teammate, falls to the ground, so the ball is dead right there. But the all-important thing is the Reeths-Puffer Rockets have possession.
And they have plenty of time. 4.5 still to play in this one. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Zietlow moves the offense around. Runs inside to Stacy Starr. A yard, maybe 2. Chuck Apap, Bill, the head coach at Walled Lake Western, has a T-shirt. Says offense wins games, defense wins championships. And right now it's up to the defense.
Well, the defense with the pressure on. They have been that old familiar cliche, the bend but don't break, as down close to the goal line, they've come up with the big fumble, good crisp hitting, causing those fumbles. They got to do it one more time here if they're going to stay on top.
New formation for Puffer, 1 back on 2nd and 8. And looked like they had trouble with it. Fumble, big pile, we'll have to wait and see. Walled Lake says it's theirs.
And the official signaling going to go the other way. The Warriors of Walled Lake Western come up with another big turnover.
Well, it looked like Zietlow and DeMarco Hill maybe a little crossed up in the backfield. And that football gets down there in among all those feet, gets kicked around, and Walled Lake comes up with it.
Well, DeMarco Hill and Jeff Zietlow just never meshed correctly as they ran into each other. DeMarco Hill never with good possession of the ball. As he comes up into the line, the ball drops loose. Another big break on the part of the Warriors.
Walled Lake needs a 1st down or 2, and there's a broken play. Watkins turned around, looked for the handoff, and Arnie Gillert had gone wide.
Well, Eric Morsfeld, Johnny on the spot, as he makes great defensive penetration here. As you can see, quarterback Dave Watkins, nobody to hand it to, and he's got company. Eric Morsfeld, all 230 pounds, says howdy.
Timeout is called by Reeths-Puffer to stop the clock with 2:43 remaining. 18-14, Walled Lake Western is out front, Bill. You know, the turnover numbers in this game must be about +4 for Walled Lake. They came in +18 on the season.
Well, they have been excellent in that department. And, of course, any team that reaches this level is an excellent football team. And that's one of the stats that you can look at. You don't turn the ball over. And Walled Lake has not done that today. And they have taken advantage of the miscues of Reeths-Puffer.
Well, you can make the grade in your community by helping youngsters enjoy the values taught through interscholastic sports competition. Coaches and officials are always needed in all sports. It's your call. For more information, contact your local athletic director or the Michigan High School Athletic Association in East Lansing. And Bill, good officiating crew here, and they have seen a little bit of everything, haven't they?
Well, they have. We've had some strange calls with the muff punt that was picked up and run in for an apparent touchdown, but our officials right on the spot called that one back. We had a ball batted back out of the end zone for a safety. They're right on the spot for that one. Great officiating job.
Gillert finds a hole. Has 5 or 6 inside the 35 and down to the 34. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. And I think Reeths-Puffer has opted to call another timeout. Well, we're talking about officials, Bill. The officials, just like the teams, earn their spots here in the Dome.
And that's correct, Mark. Each official in the state of Michigan is rated for each of the games that they officiate. And then due to experience and the level of play that an official has had and looking at those ratings, the officials are selected to do these state finals, and it's quite an honor, and we always end up with our state's top officials, and they do an excellent job.
Well, our special thanks go out during today's broadcast to the people behind the scenes who make it all possible. We would especially like to thank Tarleton Small and Jim Lilly of the Pontiac Public Schools, who've done an excellent job organizing this year's finals, and all their assistants who've put in long hours to make it all possible. Our thanks as well to John Johnson of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, who always makes these finals fun to work, Bill. 3rd down, about 5, facing Walled Lake Western. The Warriors say, we're ready to go. Where's the defense? Our officiating crew again for this one, who've done such a good job: Jim Martin, Paul Kinder, Tim Turner, Dick Elizabeth, and Lamont Simpson. And they've had a little bit of everything. 3rd 5 for Walled Lake Western. Flags everywhere. And it's 5 yards against Walled Lake Western. So 3rd and 5 becomes 3rd and 10. Still 2.5 minutes to play. Plenty of time if you're Reeths-Puffer and can get your hands on the football.
Well, the only down part of that, Mark, Reeths-Puffer not a throwing team, and the way they like to move the ball on the ground, 2:35, not a lot of time if you have to march the ball 80 yards or so.
Dave Watkins gives off to Gillert. He fights forward for 4 or 5 yards. It'll be 4th down. They're at the 35. It would be a 52-yard field goal try, and Travis Ilacqua has tried from that distance this year, but I'm not sure in this situation they're going to do that, Bill.
Well, you and I were going to look up the record to see what the high school distance is, and we didn't do that, I don't believe, did you?
It's 46.
46 yards. Well, Travis Ilacqua, I think, has enough foot from this distance. We saw some excellent leg from him earlier, but I don't think that the coach
no, not going to take a chance on the block.
No.
They're going to run a play on 4th down and 6. Flags everywhere. Delay of game. Walled Lake Western.
And I don't think they care a whole lot about that. I think they wanted to take that full 25 seconds off the clock. We're down to 1:44 right now. And I wouldn't be surprised to even see them go to a punting situation, Mark, and just try to pin the Reeths-Puffer squad deep in their own end of the field.
Well, Gagne is still not out on the field. I see him on the sideline, so looks like Walled Lake Western's going to run a play here. 4th down, 11 from the 40 of Reeths-Puffer. Option right, football's loose. It's picked up by Gillert, and they're going to lose 4 or 5 yards on the play, and Reeths-Puffer will take over at their own 45, 55 yards away from a state championship victory, but only 1:37 left.
Well, key field position here for Muskegon Reeths-Puffer now, as they do get the ball on their own 45-yard line, Mark. Boy, not a lot of time, and the clock is running.
Zietlow leads them up. Has 2 wide receivers. Throws in the flats to DeMarco Hill, and Gillard is right there to knock him down, no gain. And Reeths-Puffer wants a timeout that will stop the clock with 1 minute and 12 seconds left. 18-14. Walled Lake Western leads by 4. You know, if you're Walled Lake Western, Bill, the only thing you didn't like about the end of that last series, you lost 5 yards on a penalty, 5 yards on another penalty, then 4 yards on your last play. You did give Reeths-Puffer 14, 15 free yards.
Well, exactly, and you just don't want to give a team as potent as Reeths-Puffer is the ball any closer to your own goal line than you absolutely have to. In this case, it's going to be the Warrior defense that will be tested. Remember that the Rockets do not like to throw the ball. However, their coaching staff will tell you we can throw the ball. We just don't want to unless we have to. So they're going to be put to the test here in the last minute 12.
Coach, almost every team has a play they work on all season long for a special situation when they got to have some yards. Reeths-Puffer probably have something like that for this right here?
I'm sure they do. On the other side of the ball, I'm sure that the Warriors have a defense where they know all they have to do is protect their end zone. They're not going to come flying, I don't believe, too aggressively and leave themselves open to some type of reverse or trick play.
All right, Bill. Keith Burkett, the sophomore backup quarterback, is in the ball game. Zietlow, the regular quarterback's also in. Burkett is lining up at an end. Let's see if he doesn't step back, take a pass, and throw it himself. Nope, they'll throw it out in the flats. Complete to Boersma. He does not get out of bounds. Picks up only about 3. It'll be 3rd and 7. And Reeths-Puffer will go again. Out in the flats, incomplete, intended for DeMarco Hill. Well, a lot of confusion out there, Bill, on that 3rd down play. Some of the players didn't get back into the huddle. It's 4th down now and 5. The incompletion does stop the clock with 44 seconds left. And so Reeths-Puffer can talk a little bit about this play, but...
Well, DeMarco Hill out on the flat side had a little bit of room out there. He was covered defensively by Dave Watkins, the cornerback. But had DeMarco Hill been able to pull it in, he had some room on the sidelines.
All right, watch Burkett again, the sophomore backup quarterback. He's in the flats down low. It's to him, and he will throw. No, he won't. He's got the first down, needs to get out of bounds, and he does. Picks up about 12 on the play, goes out of bounds at the 35, 36-yard line of Walled Lake, and stops the clock with 35 seconds left.
Well, Keith Burkett, when he comes in the ball game, you can look for this second pass or halfback pass. Just nobody open as the Warriors were not fooled defensively. But Burkett able to pick up the first down on his own. Runs a little time off the clock, but that all-important first down for the Rockets of Reeths-Puffer.
1st and 10. Boy, here's some razzle-dazzle. Finally back to Zietlow, the quarterback. Heaves it downfield. Caught! Stacy Starr will score a touchdown! Reeths-Puffer takes the lead. 38 yards. The razzle-dazzle. Zietlow to Stacy Starr. The ball is tipped, and Puffer's ahead.
Oh, let's watch it again. DeMarco Hill, he hands it off. Here's the pitch back. Eludes the tackler. Jeff Zietlow delivers the Hail Mary. The ball is tipped defensively. The Warriors not fooled, but the tip ball picked up by Stacy Starr. Stacy Starr into the end zone. And my, oh my, the Silver Dome is rocking.
Reeths-Puffer showing a kick. After all that, Bill, when we suggested they can't kick it, they do. Everything else has happened in this ball game. Mark Naparella is on to boot the extra point. Flags everywhere. And if he's going to kick it, he'll have to kick it again from 5 yards farther back. Only 23 seconds left. Reeths-Puffer has led only once in this game, and that's now. Puffer 20. Walled Lake Western 18. And Naparella kicks the extra point through the uprights. 21-18.
Well, we have had everything in this ball game. A finishing touch here on the scoring by the Rockets of Reeths-Puffer as Mark Naparella kicks the extra point. One of the assistant coaches for Reeths-Puffer told us, forget about an extra point kick. Don't even consider a field goal. You'll never see it from us. And we see one right here at the end of the ball game. Here's that tip pass once again into the hands of Stacy Starr. He eludes a tackler, gets on up into the end zone.
And the play is on the Diamond Vision screen here at the Silverdome, and the cheers are the Reeths-Puffer fans, who I am guessing had all but given up hope just a couple of minutes ago, and who right now see their club with a miracle come from behind finish, lead 21-18 with 23 seconds left.
My, oh my, oh my, takes your breath away.
Well, the Rockets will kick it away. The deep man for Walled Lake Western is Arnie Gillert. Little squibber comes to Gillert at the 20. Walled Lake Western will have 69 yards to negotiate in 19 seconds. They do have 2 timeouts. And they're going to use one right now.
Well, we saw the razzle-dazzle throwback pass on the part of Reeths-Puffer and the Rockets. As you mentioned, Mark, do the Warriors have something in their bag of tricks? My, oh my, 69 yards away from the end zone. You're down by 3 points. They do have a great kicker.
Yeah, you're right. In truth, we know their kicker has tried from beyond 50 a couple of times this year. So that if you could get down to about the 35, you'd have a chance. And that is 34 yards away from where they are. So overtime's not out of the realm of possibility here, and given what we've seen today, I'd almost count on it. Here we go. The Reeths-Puffer fans are going to make it hard for Walled Lake Western to hear. They're standing and screaming. Watkins leads them up. 1st and 10. Incomplete. We got a late flag, and I think we're going to have a 15-yard personal foul against Reeths-Puffer. Well, Watkins is hurting.
That pass was intended for Matt Ingot over on the sidelines. So obviously the Warriors trying to work the ball down the field, not trying to go for all the marbles here on one swell play. And as the pass was delivered, a defensive lineman coming in puts a little hammer on Dave Watkins. And boy, that is not what the Rockets needed in this situation. 15 big yards moved forward, and that puts the ball all the way up to the 46-yard line.
15 more yards here, Bill, and you can bet Walled Lake Western would try and use Travis Ilacqua, their great field goal kicker. They are 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line, 13 seconds left. Dave Watkins has to be a little shaken up still, but steps up to the line looking confident. Boy, this has been a great football game. Going to be a screen. No, he's sacked. and a big loss. Timeout called by Walled Lake Western with 5 seconds left. But it's Ron Madison who's had the great game at nose for Reeths-Puffer.
Well, Ron Madison coming in. I think you described it right, Mark. I think they were trying to set up the screenplay, but not everybody came defensively on the pass rush. Obviously, Ron Madison did and Eric Morsfeld did, but those were the only two, and I think the rest of the defensive linemen were standing right in the middle of that potential screenplay in the middle, and the screen obviously trying to go to Arnie Gillert. And this time, it's no go as Dave Watkins is sacked, dropped for the big loss.
Well, 5 seconds left, and that effectively should eliminate any chance for a field goal. It's now one play, and right back where everything started after the kickoff. One play, and you need 69 yards if you're Walled Lake Western. This ball game has been an emotional roller coaster for the fans, the players, and I think the broadcasters alike, Bill. Here we go. In at the quarterback spot is Alex Gillert now. Down the middle, the Hail Mary. Intercepted. DeMarquio Hill picks it off. The scoreboard shows 0. A Cinderella finish for the Rockets of Reeths-Puffer as they score in the final minute of play for their first and only lead of this Class A state championship game. The green and white of Reeths-Puffer, your Class A state champions. Rockets 21, Warriors 18. This is the MHSAA on Pass. We are back at the Silverdome. You see the score. Reeths-Puffer out of Muskegon, your Class A state champion. They win this one 21-18. DeMarquio Hill, who intercepted the pass to finish the game, struggling a little bit. And Bill Brandell, you almost feel like there are two state champions in Class A. What a terrific ball game.
Well, you just can't get a better ball game, Mark. Two teams that just played their hearts out here. Excellent football. Great hitting on the part of both teams. Great defense on the part of both teams. And just some spectacular plays. Things happening that you just can't hardly describe on both sides of the field.
Dan Flynn, who is the athletic director at Escanaba, presenting the trophies and medals to Walled Lake Western, the Warriors, in their first MHSAA football playoff appearance, will earn runner-up honors, and they're not too pleased with that right now, but when down the road they can look back and take a peek at their season, they're going to feel awfully good about 12-1 and the runner-up spot. And there you see Reeths-Puffer, the state champions in Class A.
Well, and deservedly so. They played an excellent ball game, overcame some key mistakes, Mark, as they moved the ball extremely well, but fumbled a few times. But in the end, were able to come up with the big play.
Reeths-Puffer, your Class A state champion. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Back at the Dome, where your state champions in Class A, Muskegon Reeths-Puffer over Walled Lake Western. Terrific ball game, Bill Brandell. And we have one more look at the play that decided it. How many guys touched it on this play? Touchdown for Reeths-Puffer.
Well, DeMarquio Hill right there. Pitches to Luke Bates. Luke Bates back to the quarterback, Jeff Zietlow. Jeff Zietlow's Hail Mary pass will be tipped by a defender. The ball's going to end up in the hands of Stacy Starr, who shakes off a tackle right here by the final defender, is able to take the ball on into the end zone and puts the winning points on the scoreboard. And as you said, Mark, Reeths-Puffer, the only time they lead is in the last minute of the ball game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this game could have ended any other way, Bill. It was a wild and wacky game start to finish. Muskegon Reeths-Puffer had only thrown coming into this ball game for 200 yards in 12 games this season. They throw for about 115 here in the final, including the big one there, the Hail Mary, to win the Class A state title. Well, one of your network sponsors is Big Boy Restaurants. Back at the Dome, we've got more action from the MHSAA girls basketball and football finals coming up Saturday on Pro-Am Sports with a triple header. We'll start things off at high noon with the Class D girls hoop finale, live from Battle Creek, followed at 2 p.m. by live coverage of the Class A championship. Then our football coverage resumes at 4 with the Class C title game between Harperwood's Bishop Gallagher and Traverse City St. Francis. For Bill Brandell, I am Mark Crawford. Glad you were with us here at the Silverdome. Hope you enjoyed it. Our Class A state champions, Muskegon Reeths-Puffer. See you later, folks.